Podcasting has changed. It's no longer about nations, ideologies, or ethnicity. It's an endless series of proxy files recorded by mercenaries and machines. Podcasts and their consumption of life has become a well-oiled machine. Podcasting has changed. ID-tagged hosts carry ID-tagged laptops, use ID-tagged mics. Nanomachines inside their bodies enhance and regulate their abilities. Genetic control, information control, emotion control, timeline control. Everything is monitored and kept under control. Podcasting has changed. The age of deterrence has become the age of control, all in the name of averting catastrophe from audio files of mass destruction. And he who controls the podcast controls history. Podcasting has changed. When the audio timeline is under total control, podcasting becomes routine. Welcome to the Laughing Man Gamecast. This is episode number 3 on May 12th, 2022. I'm Rocky Sadie, joined by Wesley, and we're your podcast hosts tonight. Wesley, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How about yourself?
Oh, man, I'm doing great. You know what? On a good note, fucking something that would make me fucking happy. Stardew Valley recently has sold 20 million copies.
That's fucking unbelievable.
And I know you haven't played the game, but I've fucking talked about it a lot. It's a game that took, I think, 4 years. One guy developed it. It took 4 years for him to develop that game, put it out, and it just took off on Steam. Like, selling 1 million copies within a couple of months, I believe.
That's crazy. I mean, yeah,
took off.
I don't remember. I think I might have downloaded it maybe real quick. PS4 maybe or something. It wasn't PC. And I gave it a quick, I don't know, maybe like 2-hour test run or something like that. And I like what little bit I played of it. It reminded me a lot of Harvest Moon, which I liked back in the day. I just, for whatever reason, I dropped it and I just never went back to it. Definitely would have never figured it'd be like super popular for being like a obviously really small one developer indie game. But yeah, 20 million's freaking crazy.
Oh yeah, man. And it's exciting too, because like I noticed, well, it's not exciting from like, it's cool to see this guy, because he personally, like, people will reach out to him like through Twitter and stuff like that if they have bugs or crashes or somebody loses something in the game. He has personally fixed like personalized patches for people and got them the files, fixed their issue for them, and then it kept on going.
Damn.
It's crazy, man. He's a guy that's a Concerned Ape is, I guess, the development studio, and it's congrats to that. I mean, I'll fucking say I bought it for PC, and then I have it for Switch as well as on mobile. I have it for my phone.
Oh, there's a mobile version?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh shit! Well,
it's pretty much
okay. Well, in that case, I might do that because, I got plenty of downtime that I can. My phone's always in my hand, so that might be the way to go about it.
Yeah, it's cool. I played it on PC. I played it for a good bit. I want to say I played it for 40 hours at least, and the thing that happened to me on PC is I would lose interest, as I do with most games or whatever, but I would lose interest after installing mods and kind of cheating a little bit. And then it's kind of like, oh, this is cool. And then I would lose interest. But then I got it for Switch. And obviously, like, mods aren't really available for Switch. And I ended up playing and, like, going through and completing, because the thing that you get, or the thing that you have to do in Stardew Valley, is restore the community center. And as you do certain rooms in the community center, you get gifts and stuff like that, and you got to package bundles of, like, for example, one of them is you package a bundle, just certain spring crops.
Okay.
You grow those crops, you package them up, you bring them to the community center, and boom, you have a bunch of stuff that you just collect. And then once you do all that, once you complete the community center, you get like it's pretty much the point of the game, but then you can keep going after that, just farming and building up your farm, making more money and things like that.
Right.
And I didn't do that on PC, but I actually went through the entire process and did it and got the community center, and I was like, oh shit, yeah. I completed it, got done, and was like, because the thing that would stop me with fucking on PC, and the thing that was annoying was the fishing, because the fishing game was just, I don't know, it was annoying. But I ended up fucking powering through it and getting everything, and I don't know, that fucking game is relaxing. It also just makes me happy when I play it.
Well, I think I remember seeing something, I don't know how far back now, but it feels like it was a while ago, that he's got another game he's working on, something Chocolatier.
Haunted Chocolatier.
That's it. And I think I remember watching maybe a trailer, like a real small, quick trailer, and I think I remember liking the aesthetic of like what he's going for.
So I think the idea is it's the same art style, I believe, as Stardew Valley. Mm-hmm. But I think the idea is that you are a chocolatier. You own a shop that sells chocolate. And your chocolate has ghosts, contains ghosts, that you collect out in the overworld, maybe? You sell haunted chocolates. And I guess maybe certain ghosts will make certain chocolate. I don't know.
You have no earthly idea.
I don't know, and there's not a lot of information on it.
Right.
But again, as far as I know, it's still like I don't know if it's just him, but it's still a small team that, is. But I think it's mostly him.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm excited to see what the next update on that's going to be.
Yeah, for sure. That's going to be cool. Now tell me about Tmnt, the new release that's coming up for that.
TMNT Shredder's Revenge. It's basically going to be another 2D, beat 'em up, 4-player beat 'em up, couch co-op, online co-op. Animation is amazing from the trailers I've seen so far. You'll be able to do the 4 turtles will be playable, and so far I don't know if they're going to add any more, but the only other ones that have been announced as playable are April O'Neil and Splinter, which Splinter looks badass as far as what he can do with like astro projections of himself, and I don't know, just crazy shit from what I've seen so far. It's supposed to release sometime third quarter, so I think they said like summertime maybe. They didn't give an exact date yet. And the original voice cast from the TMNT cartoon series will be reprising their roles as the Turtles.
Awesome.
Which that's the nerd in me is like super stoked about, even if it's going to be like little small voice samples. But yeah, man, I don't know. They're trying to bring the Turtles back a little bit. Nickelodeon's pushing that stuff hard. But between that coming out and then the Cowabunga Collection, which I also don't know if it has a release date yet, is supposed to be 13. It's a compilation of all 13 classic games, all the NES games, the original game with the fucking underwater seaweed, disarming the bombs, which I'd never beat as a kid, and I don't know if I'll give it a shot or not, but I think I've got PTSD from that shit.
That was the one that I had. Like, I think I had a cousin that had the arcade one.
Oh, boy, he got the better end of that stick.
That was the one that I had, and then I had the Game Boy, the fucking brick game.
Oh yeah. But yeah, so it's supposed to be the original TMNT game, the arcade game, the NES version, also the arcade game, the arcade version, TMNT, Turtles in Time, the arcade version and the Super Nintendo version. Ninja Turtles Hyperstone Heist, which was the Genesis version. All 3 Game Boy versions. And I think all 3 versions of Tournament Fighters, which are, from what I remember, are not great games, but I was a Ninja Turtle nut growing up, so I fucking soaked all that shit in.
Yeah.
And, dude, I'm stupid excited for it. The Cowabunga...
No, go ahead.
The Cowbunga Collection, I think, has got a collector's edition that I ended up pre-ordering. That's got, I think, like a art book, I think a steel book, some kind of little diorama. It comes with a bunch of cool stuff. I think it was like a couple $100 maybe, or $150, I think.
Oh, wow.
Something like that, but no release date, so I don't know when it's coming out, and I haven't really heard anything new since it was really announced. But I definitely like the idea of some of these old beat-em-ups kind of getting revived between this and Streets of Rage 4 a while back, which was, again, freaking incredible. Definitely looking forward to it, so keep an eye out on that one.
Yeah, so I didn't play, I haven't played many Turtles games at all. It's pretty much the NES game that I had, the Game Boy game that I had, and then obviously the arcade version, whether that was on Nintendo or on arcades. But, I mean, you know this. I worked at fucking Chuck E. Cheese when I was 16.
Oh, boy. I know
18.
they had that arcade game there.
They had that, yes, they had that machine there. And I think I did beat it a few times, just being able to fucking throw some tokens in there and have at it. I wouldn't be surprised if we went and fucking beat it that night. Did you? Trying to remember. Never mind. We had whatever. Anyway, but yeah, I remember playing through that game a few times.
Well, I know they have. I mean, Arcade 1-Up. Obviously, I'm really big on their stuff. Even though, I mean, I own 2 of the cabinets so far, and there's a bunch more than I haven't bought, or I just haven't had the chance to track down yet. But they've got a 4-player little Arcade 1-Up cabinet for the arcade game and Turtles in Time that I desperately want. I just haven't really, decided to spring the cash for it because it is a little on the pricey side. But at some point, I plan on owning that. Just for the authentic feel of the arcade. Bring back some memories.
Yeah. Man, that's cool. That's cool that they put those out.
Oh, dude, they've put out so many good ones. Only thing is the last time, just get off a little bit of a tangent, but the last one I had gotten was I pre-ordered the Killer Instinct cabinet, which was Killer Instinct 1, 2, and Battletoads, I think. And I ended up canceling the pre-order because shortly thereafter they announced that they were making a full-size KI cabinet.
Oh, wow.
Granted, it's expensive, but, in the grand scheme of things, if I'm looking at what would be now, I think, a $600 cabinet, I think the full-size one that they're doing, I think they're only asking like $1,000 for it. So I'm like, well, fuck it. If that's the case, I might as well just hold off, save up a little bit, and just splurge on the big boy.
Yeah, that's insane.
But I haven't heard anything since then, so I don't know if they're going to slowly transition themselves to full-size cabinets.
Yeah.
Or what.
That's crazy. Oh, man, I've always had the dream of owning a cabinet, but I don't know. It just seems like there's a lot, to own an actual, I doubt this is the case with those 1-Up cabinets because they're new and whatever. Owning an older cabinet, along the lines of, I don't know, fucking Blitz. I used to play Blitz all the time or some shit. I don't know, man.
I remember
those old cabinets, especially the ones that require CRTs,
yeah,
things like that. Seems too much.
I don't know, man.
No, I've always been partial to the idea of just building out a wood cabinet and just using a PC to.
Well, I know a lot of people do
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I remember back in the day when I was a kid growing up, I remember my cousin, I don't know how he got a hold of it anymore. I don't recall. But he ended up with an old Aliens arcade cabinet. Like full size, and I think he got it dirt cheap, and I remember him keeping it in the garage and putting it on free play, and I used to play the crap out of that game. He had it for a long time. I think eventually, I don't know what happened to it eventually, but it was, full size cab, CRT, TV, shit would break all the time, and he'd have to, fix it back in the day. But it was badass. I was so jealous growing up. I'm like, one day, I'm just going to pick a cabinet that I want, and I don't care how much it costs. I'm going to end up just splurging. But yeah, I got those 2 arcade 1-up cabinets that I got, and I mean, it's for being what they are. They're not bad quality,
Yeah. And, oh, dude, even me. I have my dream cabinet, my Soul Calibur 2. Yes. Soul Calibur 2 with Conquest mode.
Why am I not surprised?
Yeah. That
Ivy's floating around somewhere.
She's out there still whipping ass.
Damn right.
That's what. Yeah. Hell yeah.
It's funny because since I work like right there, every time I'm pulling into work and I pass by the old building where our old arcade game club arcade hangout was, like, I always look at it and I always like get really nostalgic about it. I go, man, I really wish those still existed. It was just a blast.
Yeah, man. That was like really the only time that I went to arcades and that kind of atmosphere. Is like, you literally just throw your quarter down, fucking next up.
That was it. Go. Throw your quarter down. I got next. Bam.
We'll play some Rumblefish.
I
play some Rumblefish.
I thought I was the only one to remember that. Rumblefish. What was the other one that I was on the that Atomisware cabinet? Dolphin Blue. Just
yes.
Dolphin Blue. That was my what was that? Yeah, that was my first exposure to Street Fighter 3, Third Strike. Before it ever came to the consoles, and man, that game was. I remember just like drooling over the animation in that game. And,
playing SVC Chaos.
Oh god! Oh, they did have an SVC Chaos cabinet. But nobody played it because everybody was on CVS 2. Everybody was on CVS 2.
Yeah, CVS 2. Fucking. Yes, I'm terrible at fighting games, but I did love me some CVS 2.
Dude, it's just, you don't have to be good at it. You just have to have fun with it.
Yeah. Fucking, yeah. Ken. My boy it. Ken.
Not Ryu.
My boy Ken Eniori.
Eniori Terry?
Nah, man. Ryu's so vanilla. I need Ken.
It's the red. It's that red gi.
Yeah.
But, I could go on and on talking about fucking arcades and how I wish things were once what they used to be.
Wow. Well, on that note, let's talk about Sonic Origins.
Oh, boy. Where do I start on this?
Yeah, so you were telling me a little bit about this before we started recording, and this sounds like ass. Honestly, it just sounds like ass.
Oh, dude, it's fucking horrible. It's like there's let's see if I can pull it up. It's gonna be too small for me to see this. Let's see. So you've got the standard edition, which is just the main game. Then you have the Start Dash Pack, which supposedly comes with free DLC that's included if you pre-order the Standard Edition or the Digital Deluxe Edition. So that one comes with 100 bonus coins, whatever that is. A mirror mode that is automatically unlocked, which I guess flips the stages. And a letterboxed background. For whatever reason, I don't know. Then you have the Premium Fun Pack, which is more DLC that has hard missions, the letterbox background, the character animation in the main menu, which again sounds superfluous, camera controls in the main menu islands, character animations during music islands, again, whatever that means. But it doesn't come with the mirror mode, and it doesn't come with the 100 bonus coins, and it doesn't have additional music tracks. But then you get the classic music pack, which has nothing but additional music tracks. And then you have the Digital Deluxe Edition, which is the main game, the hard missions, character animations in the main menu, camera controls, main menu islands, character animations during music islands, and the additional music tracks from the Genesis versions. But it does not come with letterbox backgrounds unlocked, the mirror mode, or the 100 bonus coins. None of it makes sense. No matter what edition you buy or which route you go, you don't get everything off the bat. So even if you're paying extra, you still have to pay on top of that to get everything you want, or everything that's available. It's stupid convoluted. And all it does
sounds dumb.
Dude, and all it does is just remind me of how bad sometimes DLC can be. Or at least when DLC first became a thing, back in the day.
How exploitive it can be.
Yeah, this is the perfect example.
Yeah, it's shit. Yeah, and honestly, dude, I haven't had the urge to actually want to play Sonic since I had fucking Sonic 2 on Genesis. Legit. Yeah, I bought Sonic Mania, when it first came out, because it seemed like a cool project.
It actually was a very cool project. It was a very fun game. And
I played it, it's probably the most Sonic that I'd played in 20 years, or however long it had been. But that was it. I have no urge. I guess Sonic is for the kids still, yeah. I guess.
I mean, I'm looking forward to Sonic Frontiers whenever they kind of give a little bit more of a preview on that open world Sonic that they're supposedly working on.
I guess, you know what? I guess it's the perfect time because Sonic 2 is how far, the second movie, how that's going to be within the year, huh?
I believe so. I think Sonic Frontiers, I think it was supposed to be released or sometime before the end of the year. I think sometime 2022. And
but yeah, that's and how much of that extra content do you really freaking need?
Just reading off what I just read, none of that sounds essential in any way. Nothing that I would screw around with. Maybe the music tracks, just because I like most of the soundtracks in all the Sonic games, but that'd be all I could really think I'd be plopping any extra money on.
Yeah.
But anyways.
I think a lot of the DLC problem has since passed. But,
yeah. I mean,
it doesn't... There's always going to be some developer who's I can get away with this shit. It's not... what people did before. This is not what this is. This is something different.
Yeah. No, this isn't way back in the day when they were trying to figure out what they could get away with. At this point, what you can and can't do, and now it just seems like you're still trying to get one over. I remember
because it's targeted to kids, and kids don't freaking know.
Well, I remember people getting pissed, when DLC became a thing in fighting games, and because again, people that are smarter than you and I, were data mining the games and going, oh, dude, like, what the fuck? Like, there's 10 characters, like, already on the disc. Like, it's here. It's just locked behind a paywall. What the fuck?
Yeah.
And, I feel like that was a legitimate gripe, but I think even that's kind of been fixed a little bit. The fact that, games like Guilty Gear now and King of Fighters 15 so far up to this point, these season passes that you're buying, to get the additional content or the additional characters.
Yeah.
You're not just buying additional characters. It's additional characters and additional costumes and additional colors and a stage and some music. What you're spending the money on at this point now actually just definitely seems worth it. I'm not just buying Biken because I'm buying Biken. I'm buying Biken because I'm buying her and the stage and her music and
right,
et cetera, et cetera.
And people are continuing to work on games, so they continue to need a salary to be able to work on those games.
True.
I mean, you got to continue to support the developer. But yeah, I mean, it's on the developers and publishers to determine, how they. Yeah, and as you said, dude, the problem with DLC has pretty much been figured out, and it's just a matter of, has EA received enough backlash for their Battlefront 2?
Mm-hmm.
Like, bullshit that they went through, and, it's, fucking, especially EA, seems like they put their hand out there as much as they could and get smacked a bunch of times.
Yeah, but, we know they're the kings of microtransactions, so.
Oh yeah, microtransactions, buying developers and then fucking selling them off or just shutting them down.
They've been good for that, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm not going to get on them right now, but
a few choice words will be coming later on.
Yes. Yeah. So, I don't know. The news that I come across, at least that seems interesting to me, is few and far between, just because I don't really have. I've got a singular focus on the game right now, and that's Elden Ring, which we've spoken enough about. I'm not going to bring that up again here. But thing that has come across are rumors for GTA 6. I don't know. They're of course using the same Rage engine. They're building upon it, and apparently, I don't know, it's an engine ahead of its time, because of course they're going to say that.
Well, duh.
And, I don't know. But, that said, as I was looking up some additional stuff earlier today, because this news was a little bit old and I had to refresh myself on it, there have been 2 people that have left Rockstar, at least that I think are notable, at least enough to at least mention here. Dan Hauser. I don't know if you're familiar with him.
Yeah, he's like basically the freaking creator. Or
I think one of the lead writers.
Him
and Sam Hauser, I think, were founders of
Rockstar, right?
Of Rockstar,
yeah,
I believe,
okay.
yeah. And then I think Dan did a lot of the writing for most of the games, or it was something that
they were
together.
Tight. I know for
yeah. Well, he left in February of 2020.
That's
after GTA 5, after I think Red Dead, Red Dead 2 maybe he left, and then also Leslie Benzies. I don't know if you're familiar with him.
No.
I remember hearing about when he left. I didn't hear about him before that, and when he left, I didn't realize how instrumental he may have been to the game. And then, again, researching it before we came to record.
He was instrumental to GTA 6 or to the franchise in general?
Rockstar.
Rockstar. Oh, okay, Rockstar
yeah.
In general. Okay.
Yeah, former president of Rockstar North. and then lead developer on the Grand Theft Auto series.
Okay.
Taking responsibility from Grand Theft Auto 3 to GTA 5. So,
Whoa.
back when you and I were in high school, GTA 3 came out. Dude, do you remember that, right? Like, that was...
Vividly.
I went to a homecoming game.
Vividly to the point that I remember I was not on that train, I don't think. I don't think I was on the PS2 just yet.
Yeah. I remember it was homecoming. I don't know if it was our freshman year or what, but I remember I'd gotten it, and then they had a homecoming football game. I was like, oh, I'm going to walk to the football game or whatever, da-da-da. And I was there for like 30 minutes. I'm like, what am I doing here? Went back home and started playing Grand Theft Auto 3 again. And I was like, this game is, like, why would I go there? No, this game is...
No, this is
game
like...
is shit.
Video games will not be... will never be any more than this. Like, we've hit...
No, it's like, I just
we've
unlocked the second island. Are you kidding me? No, I just unlocked the second island. Get out of here.
Oh, dude, I remember that. That's right. I remember the islands were all blocked off for like a vast majority of the beginning part of the game. But yeah, he left, and then it's funny because I remember hearing when he left, and then not realizing how influential he was on the series. So that brings into questions like with GTA 6. What is that? What is the story going to be like without Dan Hauser writing it? Which, honestly, GTA 4, I like the story for that. GTA 5 lost me at some point. I was just trying to finish the game and then wait for online to come out. Right.
Because that was the only time I completed it, is when it first came out. Well, haven't touched the story mode since.
Yeah, GTA 4 was the last one that I played and all the way to its conclusion. And 5 came out, what, on PS3 at first? Okay.
Yep.
Well, I remember buying it. I remember playing a little bit of it. I don't think I ever really got used to the whole idea of being able to swap between 3 protagonists at one, at any given moment.
Yeah.
And I think that's what lost me. I like the having to manage 3 guys at one time. Just didn't sit well with me.
Yeah.
And it gave me San Andreas vibes, where there's just entirely too much to do. Like, there's too many ways for me to get distracted, and get sidetracked, which is great content wise, for people, for those that like that kind of stuff. But I need something a little bit more focused. I don't need, Skyrim, Fallout vibes in my Grand Theft Auto game because I decided I needed to go get a haircut or eat some cheeseburgers or get fat, get skinny, That part of it is a bit too much. But now that it's been re-released for the, 30-second and a half time for PS5, I might actually sit down at some point and try to play it through the single-player campaign on it through its entirety, just to do it, because I've done it with every other one.
Yeah. So it came out September 17th, 2013.
Fuck, man. Jesus Christ. And this is why all of a sudden we're hearing about GTA 6, because they've officially run out of consoles and places to re-release this shit.
Yeah.
But,
and if you think about it, too, if you play through it again, keep in mind that you have features that you didn't have back on the PS3 version. You have first-person mode.
True.
It's first-person mode as implemented into a Grand Theft Auto game. So it's not going to be your Call of Duty feel.
No, of course not.
But it's interesting. It's an interesting thing to try out. And when you stab somebody in first-person mode, it makes you feel some kind of way. Like, oh man, I just did that.
I just murdered that guy.
But it's like I don't know, all the cars. GTA 5 I didn't like the story mode, but what was special to me was online. That was what was special to me because, dude, honestly, and what I want out of GTA 6 is more of like, I kind of want to be like, just make it. I want to play online where I can just do my own thing with my own character and build that up. But like, do something where you can use that same character within the story mode and then as well as online. Like,
I feel like you could even go into like MMO territory with this stuff at this point, considering how much content they've added to GTA Online at this point. Which, obviously, when I started playing, I
say MMO only in the sense that you can if they lean into the role playing features, like with the role playing community, like uses as tools and stuff to do what they do. If they somehow leaned into that and allowed people to servers to like role play and stuff like that, that would be amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea of just having the city, the setting, wherever you're at, like just be an open, breathing world that's just always active.
Yeah.
That's kind of I don't know if I'm getting my point across correctly or not, but that's kind of where my thought process goes on what I would want it to be. Like just a game that's always online.
Yeah. So my approach to online was just, so my character, even after all these years, however long it's been, I guess it was like maybe, I think it was in October, like it was a month or two afterwards that they put online out.
Mm-hmm.
And I got on there immediately and pretty much was the only GTA 5 mode that I played. And I've played that game at least 2 to 3 hours, at least a year. I've revisited it several times.
Yeah.
Online. I've always took the approach, and my character is like level fucking 60. It's not very high, and it's because mainly what I enjoyed about the game was stealing cars. I would buy, like, I saved up a bunch of money, bought another 6-car garage, and then would store. Every time I saw one of the cars that looked like the Land Rovers, I'd take them, store them in my garage because they were worth the most. And then every 18 minutes, I'd drop them in there, and there's another 9,000. And I'd build up my money that way. And the way that the mindset that I had was the way that I would play is I always thought of the Joker. It's like, I just need money to buy guns, gasoline, and ammo. That's all I need. As long as I got money to do that. Yeah, I mean, that and my cars. Like,
well, I remember like when I first jumped on online, you know, way back when, and we had kind of tooled around with it a little bit. It was exactly what I had figured it would be. Like, just basically get on there with a couple of friends or, you know, random people online and either fuck around in the city or, you know, go after each other and gun each other down or screw each other up in the middle of a mission or something. And, you know, I thought that was entertaining but also felt that was as far as it was ever going to go. Yeah. I haven't played it in so long, and I've kind of been keeping up just bit by bit over the years with all of the content that they've added since then. And, dude, man, it's you know, obviously you know better, you know, more than I do. Yeah. But
it's insane now.
It blows my mind that, you know, at some point it was like, oh, well, you can buy your own property. Like, you can buy your own house. You can buy your own penthouse. Cool. Awesome. Like, that's cool that I can own my own property. And then it became like, well, guess what? Now you can go buy yourself a fucking yacht and you can go cruising around the ocean. What the fuck? And then it was like, oh, dude, you want to go buy yourself a casino and gamble? And, like, it's gotten to the point where the things that they've added into the online component of the game, I can't, without playing them, I don't even understand how it works. Right. You know, which I'm sure at some point when I play again, I'll eventually figure out. But, yeah, like, it's insane to me just how much they've added to it. And as much as, you know, the running gag at this point is that they've re-released this game
Yeah.
17 ways from Sunday, and people are clamoring at this point for a sequel. In all reality, you can't fault them for it. Number one, they've been constantly putting content out. And again, going back to, what we talked about a little while ago, you got to support the developer. And you know what? They're making gangbusters off of this.
Dude, I think it's the highest selling or highest grossing, maybe, entertainment product. Just not even video games, strictly video games, just entertainment in general. It's raked in a ton of money. They've continued to support the game. They've added a ton of stuff. Now I'll say the price of everything, for me, is absolutely absurd. And that's just because I don't have the time to do all these missions and all this shit that just builds up. And the matchmaking for heists and missions and all that never was really good. And then up until maybe the past year or so, they improved loading times, which they didn't even improve loading times themselves. So a modder came up with a mod that fixed online loading times, which they then implemented and then paid him money for it.
That's cool.
For finding that bug.
Hey, whatever works.
Which, it's great. It's great that it doesn't take 5 to 10 minutes to load into an online lobby, because holy fuck. I would, whenever I would play, I would go into a solo lobby where it was just me, because I knew it would load faster. And then if I decided to hop into an online public lobby, then I would do so from there. But a lot of the missions and stuff that I would do, dude, I would go and fucking rob convenience stores. That's what I would do. And sell cars. That's what I would do to get by, because that's all I needed to do. I'd fucking...
it's definitely it's definitely disheartening to hear, though, that everything is still incredibly expensive. I remember...
Absolutely.
I remember, even though, back then I was not poor, but I definitely didn't have a lot of disposable income. And I remember spending, some real world cash on, some Shark credit cards or whatever they are. And
I've done that.
Dude, but I remember going, oh yeah, here's, I'll drop $50, for some in-game currency. And not be able to buy what I want still, or just only be able to get a few items here and there, and then all right, well, my hard-earned cash has been not spent very well at this point. So it's a little disheartening to hear that it's still expensive. But I guess at this point they've added so much content, making money or making in-game currency can't be that time consuming, I should say.
It's a game that is not. It's just not built for the way that I'm able to play games these days. So I'm just not able to dig as much time into it as I. And honestly, I don't know that I would. I don't know. I was the only reason why I have the yacht and fucking business, and I think on PC I have a yacht, I have a weed business, I have some enterprise business, which is basically stealing cars and selling stolen cars and shit like that. I have a nightclub. I have all kind of shit. And the only reason why I have that is because I ended up in a public lobby with a hacker that was just dropping money to everyone. Nice. And by the time he left, I had $15 million.
Hey.
And then I was and then I remember I was holy shit, reading up on it and then seeing that if you spent it, they weren't going to take what you spent on it, what you used it to spend. But if you had it in your account, they were going to take it out. So I bought the yacht, I bought a couple of businesses, and then I bought a bunch of high-end cars, which I would just sell when I needed money.
Yeah, you launder that money, boy.
Fuck yeah, man. Gotta clean that shit. And that's what Grand Theft Auto has taught me.
Art imitating life.
The more you know.
That's right. But
this hacker just popped into this public lobby, and then I learned about money laundering.
Broke bad.
I don't know, but like again, like after Sons of Anarchy is one of my favorite TV shows. Yeah. Right? They have, and I have one on PC. You can buy a motorcycle club. Jesus. And you can have president of the motorcycle club. You can set a VP, and you can set up the hierarchy just like that. And I think that's the motorcycle club is who runs my weed business. So
it makes sense.
It's interesting. It's cool if I had the time to actually, sit for a few hours and do a thing. Because apparently you can make good money doing heists.
Okay.
Every time that you and I and, other friends have tried to do a heist, the matchmaking was absolutely terrible.
I remember it being ass.
Yeah. So that's a thing they need to figure out. They definitely need to streamline the matchmaking process, and honestly, I just want to be able to create my own character and be that person and then take that person online if I want to.
I think we definitely need to find the time to do that at some point. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I love that game. I hate the story mode, but I love that game. Dude, Los Santos is one of the most impressive game environments that I've ever seen. It's massive. Absolutely massive. All kind of shit hidden everywhere.
Yeah, like I said, considering how little I did play of it, I know that I didn't even scratch the surface, of how far out I could go or what you could do.
No, scratch the surface, dude. Have you ever seen No Country for Old Men?
Mm-hmm. It's been a while, but yeah.
Do you run it? So there's a part at a certain time of day. If you run to this certain area of the city, you'll see, in that movie, there'll be a bunch of cars just in one spot, a bunch of people just lying there dead, like some shit happened.
Yeah.
And then you come up on some dude that's just got a bunch of money or some shit, and you can either kill him or take it or whatever. And as soon as you take it, some dudes are on your ass to try to come and get you to take that money or whatever it is.
Nice.
You end up on this scene, and then just this event happens. This random event happens.
Hey, we've come a long way from Vice City, driving around and just watching a hit and run, or just again, and then up on the tail end of a hit and run between two NPCs.
Yeah, dude. If you're in a certain part of the mountain area at a certain time of day, there's a reenactment of Thelma and Louise. Damn. Two women in a car, police chasing them, driving off the cliff of a mountain.
Dude, that's badass.
All kind of shit like that, dude. That's
fucking incredible. That's badass.
All kind of shit. There's stuff that they've never confirmed, alien stuff that they have all over the city.
Right.
That people have put together. Just different mysteries that I don't think they've ever confirmed, but it's just shit that people have put together.
I guess...
It's impressive, man.
I guess, I know that it's been a few weeks since I've played Elden Ring, so not saying that my time with that game is over, but It sounds like I need to maybe hop back on that GTA bandwagon and give this game a legit shot.
I mean, that's the thing I'll say about GTA 5 is that, and same thing with GTA 4, the map, that impressive.
Yeah, I remember the map in GTA 4 being pretty massive, considering it was basically, it was just essentially Liberty City. You're not talking about Los Santos where it's 2 states and 7 counties or whatever. But yeah, I remember that one being pretty massive, and
that was like a good vertical, like it.
Yes, it had a lot of verticality.
It was very, very New York. I mean, it was. And then think about this, man. Like they, as big as those cities are, especially Los Santos, it's constantly streaming. There's one load as soon as you get in there, and then, like that's it. Like that's the load. Now, in the story mode, if you or whatever, there are load times if you're going inside buildings and stuff like that.
Well, right, buildings or
certain
cutscenes,
buildings,
right?
But I mean, you walk right into Michael's house and interact with his family because they're doing their routine in the middle of the day or whatever time it is. They're doing their routine. It's just all that's just live streaming, all that just processing under the hood,
which is pretty badass. And I'm excited to try it on PS5 and see what that load time is like, and what the frame rate is and all that fun stuff. But I'm really to kind of switch gears a little bit and kind of get back on the original topic at hand. I'm really hoping that. There's a big part of me that's hoping that wherever the setting is for GTA 6, it ends up being Vice City again. But I'm also definitely, definitely open to trying a different place. I don't know if I would want to do Los Santos or Liberty City again. Vice City definitely Vice City needs a chance to shine, and reach the potential that it had. So obviously with the opportunity for better graphics and a bigger map, just like Liberty City and Los Santos did. Yeah. Now the question would be, what time period do you set it in? And I would like to think that I'd want to keep it present day. Yeah, I would think so. I mean, so I think I think the rumors are. I don't think they've indicated one way or another if it's not present day or if it's some time period or whatever. That's never been hinted at or whatever. I would prefer present day, but the rumors are that it could be Vice City, but also with, and again, I don't know how this would work. Also, potentially some South American landmass, maybe. Indicating possibly like gun running. Could be like cartel running. Yeah, stuff like that tied to the story. Boy, that'd actually be pretty neat. Finding a way to cross the border.
Yeah, and I mean that. I don't know. Again, if the single player is good, great. My concern is online. Like, I want to. Yeah, I want to be able to play around, because I think I also saw a rumor that they might jump between time, like the 80s and the present day. Jeez. But I don't know how. Again, I don't know how valid that would be. Right. And I imagine if they did that, it's probably like it'd probably be like a flashback sequence of some shit. But I don't know. Obviously, there's still not a lot of information out there. But I definitely think it's going to be Vice City because, I mean, at this point, why not? You've done an HD version of Liberty City and San Andreas. Yeah. Do another one. Do Vice City. I mean, come on. Just
bring back Laszlo and give him his redemption story, his redemption arc, because boy.
Bro,
that boy is a mess.
Laszlo went places, man. He went places. He is an absolute mess.
Dude, he went. he needs a redemption. Like that, his overall story arc needs a happy ending at this point.
Remember when he was just roasting fools in Liberty City, like in the fucking 90s or whatever, or early 2000s?
Boy, that feels like such a long fucking time ago.
He joined them. He said, "I'm not going to fight him. I'm going to join him." And
he legit freaking joined him. Because I definitely remember him running around Liberty City 2.0.
Yeah. I don't know if you got that far, but he's actually involved in the main story with Michael.
Is he really?
Yeah, so he ends up running like a American Idol type deal show.
Oh, dude, this is amazing already.
And Michael's daughter is trying to be on there, and he's being a creep trying to get into her draws, and then Michael stumbles upon it, and
well, that sounds about right. That definitely was kind of where Laszlo was going. Yeah,
right. I mean, it is definitely a threat placed on his life because he was trying to get fresh with Michael's daughter in front of Michael, and she was like 18 or 17 or some shit like that. So,
got it.
Man, he's fallen so far, man.
I know, man. He used to be the only sane guy.
And bring Fernando back. Fernando, man.
Oh, they do need to bring Fernando back.
He needs to be brought back, and then maybe I need to meet him in a story, in a mission or something, somehow.
Fernando Martinez.
That son of a bitch is going to be a mission giver.
Oh, man. Just give me my talk radio. That's like, fuck all the licensed music and shit that they spend all this money, like, getting all these, legit, real-life, soundtracks for all these radio stations. All I ever do is listen to the talk radio.
It's talk radio, and then I'll listen to their hip-hop station.
See, I don't even go that... I mean, well, no, I'm not... I lie a little bit. I usually find, like, one of their rock stations that I might like, but for the most part, like, 80% of my playthroughs on all these GTA games, yeah, I'm on Chatterbox, Liberty City 2.0, Vice City Public Radio, whatever the fuck, like, all the talk radio shit, because their writing and their scripts are hilarious.
Yeah.
And I've listened to them more times than I care to remember. To this day, I will still play them on the way to, like, work or something from time to time. And it's never not funny.
I've listened to Chatterbox a ton on YouTube.
Yeah.
Because you just straight have it on YouTube, so I've listened to it a ton. Yeah. And, I mean, a lot of the 80s music that I have on my phone and my playlist
is because of
Vice City.
Yeah.
Because of listening to fucking Fernando's radio station, because that's the only one that I listen to.
Right.
Yeah, man, those games, especially Vice City, it's time, man. It's time to go back.
Yeah. Well, I attempted to go back to Vice City by playing these freaking GTA HD definitive editions.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I heard they weren't good.
Ooh, that's an understatement. I was actually reading something a little while ago that after about 15 patches, they've got the rain physics almost working properly.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's so bad. Like, raining indoors and...
Oh, God.
God. Oh, dude, it was a fucking mess. I mean, the games looked okay. They didn't look terrible. But,
yeah.
Dude, the physics just didn't work. Like I said, the raining in buildings or, textures not loading right and just all kinds of goofy stuff. And just... Oh, man, it was such a disappointment because I was like, I watched the trailers for this stuff and they're showing like what they used to look like for PS2, what the HD versions look like, and I'm going, dude, man, I can't wait to go back to Vice City. And I popped it on, and good lord,
that was not as fun.
Wreck.
It's not as fun as just that like those glitches back in the day when you're just driving along and there's just a random dead body and everybody's standing like, what the hell happened here? I don't know what happened here. You just ended up in the middle of the street like this. What the hell's going on?
Yeah, I mean, that simpler times back then.
Yeah. That and you fucking had Tommy Vercetti voiced by Ray Liotta. It's like,
who would have thought, huh?
Amazing. Amazing shit.
Tommy Vercetti voiced by Ray Liotta, basically giving you a retelling of Scarface. Like,
yeah, amazing.
Good times.
All right. Oh yeah. So, all right. As I was on my way home from work today, I was driving down the Causeway Bridge, which, as you know, is a long bridge. It takes about 30 or 40 minutes to get across. Mm-hmm. I was listening to the podcast, and at some point the podcast went off, and I didn't realize that I was just sitting in silence. I just was, because I was deep in thought about Titanfall 2.
Uh-oh.
Specifically, and I'm going a little bit of a rant here, and this is probably going to be the only time I'm going to say this on fucking podcast, just because I feel like I've talked to you and Rodney and Mac about Titanfall. I don't know. I feel like it's every couple of weeks at this point. But
just a quick disclaimer: this will not be the one and only time it gets brought up. It's
anyway. So yeah. I was watching some videos that, like, I don't have many videos on my YouTube or whatever that I have out there, but some of them I was just watching, and some of them from Titanfall 2.
Yep.
It made me miss that game. And that game for me was probably as influential, or not influential, but I say it was as impactful as Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare was. For me personally.
That's big.
Yeah. And for Call of Duty 4, I remember being hyped when it was announced that it was that old, announced at E3. Here's this video of this fucking special ops team going on this boat. You see it, and then what I immediately got sucked into was the multiplayer. Played the beta, got hooked on it. I played Call of Duty 2 prior to that. Was into it, but just World War II wasn't the setting that I like playing in. I like the more modern setting, and I just completely got pulled into Modern Warfare. I think I prestiged multiple times, deleted my save, started over, and would play the single player fucking on veteran. Just got deep into Call of Duty 4.
Well, I totally get that, because something was magical about that game. I'm not a FPS guy in the slightest, and I was hooked on that shit.
Yeah,
for quite some time. So I totally understand that.
So yeah, and like again, going back to the campaign of that game, like you remember that point in that game when the nuke goes off, and you're like, holy shit. This is at least
vividly trying to complete Mile High Club on whatever it was, the hardest difficulty or something.
Yeah.
I don't remember what made it so I don't recall what made it so difficult, but I spent an obscene amount of time trying to get that mission done.
This is Twitch controls. It's just having a Twitch. But anyway, that was a very impactful game for me as far as games that the games that I enjoy. And because of that, it wasn't just me, because it was a mainstream hit, right?
Oh, big time.
From that point on, it was a Call of Duty every year after that, right?
Right.
None of those games that followed that, I enjoyed a couple of them, but none of them were as impactful as the first original Modern Warfare, and then Titanfall 2, where it's kind of a merge of, it's the Call of Duty gameplay because it's the Call of Duty developers, right?
Right.
It's the merge of that gameplay along with the fucking giant robots, which are fucking dope as hell.
Yeah.
And I didn't play the first Titanfall. That was, I think, on 360, and was online only.
Couldn't tell you.
I didn't play it. I got Titanfall 2. That was my first experience with Titanfall 2, with Titanfall in general, and immediately fell in love. Did the thing that I did with a lot of the Call of Duties after Modern Warfare, which was play the single player, get through that, and then full-time multiplayer after that.
Right. The
single player itself, the campaign, amazing. It was one of the best. Again, it's the best single player campaign that I played since Modern Warfare.
Right.
I played the only other one before that I played was Advanced Warfare, and that's only because of Kevin Spacey being in the villain.
Yeah, before Kevin Spacey himself, yeah.
Yep, before all that shit. And so even that wasn't as impactful, but that was the appeal to playing single player.
Right.
Single player Titanfall 2 goes places that I didn't expect and was actually really good. And then there's a specific moment in the game when you're actually traveling between two different times. And I found fascinating. I remember seeing a video during about the development of that specific section of the single player campaign and just being wholly impressed by it. It was amazing. It reviewed well. It seemed like I don't know. It seemed like it was a darling. It's definitely got a cult feel now because I think personally, fucking EA killed it. So first,
well,
that's my.
I think that's where this rant is about to like really go off on the tangent. But just to put my 2 cents into it real quick is I feel like the game from what I've read recently, and I'm talking about like within the last year, that it's practically unplayable at this point.
Yep. So. And I'm going to get to that because that's some real bad shit too, and Respawn seems to have been sitting on their hands with that shit. Anyway, Battlefield 1, in 2016, you're going to have, this was, again, each year Call of Duty's releasing Activision releasing their Call of Duty game, EA's releasing their Battlefield game. Excuse me. And then you got Battlefield 1 comes out October 21st, a week ahead of Titanfall 2. Mm-hmm. So EA is releasing their Battlefield game, their flagship shooter, a week ahead of Titanfall 2. Which, on the inside, internally, they've played the games. They know what's what.
Of course.
There's a reason why they put it a week ahead of time. Because once Titanfall 2, the focus came out, the focus was going to come off of Battlefield 1. And Battlefield's Battlefield. It's a different type of shooter than Call of Duty is.
Definitely.
And while Titanfall is different than Call of Duty in some ways, it still feels like Call of Duty, and you're kind of in these boxes. These smaller maps. Mm-hmm. Call of Duty Infinite Warfare comes out November 4th. So, and keeping the timeline, Battlefield 1 comes out October 21st, a week before Titanfall 2 on October 28th, which then is followed by Call of Duty Infinite Warfare on November 4th, 2016. Sandwiched in between their own flagship game and the competitor's most successful game, let alone successful shooter.
Right. So what do you think's going to happen?
Right. They set them up to fail, EA, and because I highly doubt Respawn had any real say about where their game is going to be released, when it's going to be released.
No, I'm sure that they were just, told 1.5 million times, like, you need to finish this thing ASAP.
Yeah. And then, this is all in hindsight. This is me looking at this on May 12th, 2022. Apex comes out. Apex is announced and released on the same day. And then there are ties to the Titanfall universe in Apex.
Oh, I didn't know that.
There is, yes. It takes place in the same universe. From Respawn's mouth. It does.
Really?
They've neglected Titanfall 2. Since then, they've had... Well, they don't know exactly who's been doing it, as far as I can tell. But they've had... It seems like they have a group of hackers that were specifically trolling and hacking. Well, finding people that are live streaming on Twitch, getting into their games somehow whatever, and then killing their stream, hacking it in such a way that it was just unplayable. Like, knock them out of games, and then they wouldn't be able to join games after that.
Yeah, like lock them out altogether.
Right, and then players would just would get DDoS attacks, which again knock them out and prevent them from playing. And to my knowledge, Respawn hasn't addressed it.
No,
and looking at it now, Apex especially feels kind of raw because it seems like them tying it into the Titanfall universe seems like, hey guys, we're going to exploit your fucking investment into this series to bring y'all over to this series.
Right.
And I'm sorry, but I mean, I know Apex is, I assume it's thriving. I don't know because I don't follow it, but it's, I don't know. It's not Titanfall. It's not Titanfall.
You know, and I remember, vividly only because for whatever reason, I guess I loved it so much that I did actually decide to save a couple of video clips, and I got them posted on my own personal, YouTube channel, which doesn't have a lot of content on it, but every now and again I go back and I watch some of my old stuff that I've posted over the years just to look back at it, and I can always go back to the two videos that I have posted, which were 15-minute gameplay or whatever of the online matches a couple of online matches I did do. And man, watching those videos back, and of course I might have watched them not that long ago, maybe a couple weeks ago, so they're relatively fresh in my mind. But there was something, again, I'm not an FPS guy in any way, shape, or form. I'm not good at them. I don't like first-person shooters for the most part, not the way that a lot of people do.
Yeah.
But man, there was something about that game that really got to me. And watching back the videos, I think I basically pinpointed it down to, the mechs are great. I like the giant robot action part of it.
Yeah.
But what got me and what sucked me in wasn't the weapons, it wasn't the maps, it wasn't the robots, it wasn't the single player campaign.
I think I know what you're gonna say.
It was the fucking mobility.
Yeah.
It was the mobility.
Yeah.
I did nothing better than starting a match, running full speed towards a wall, jumping up, throwing out the grappling hook, and just run sidewall running, and jumping from wall to wall, and doing all the crazy things that you could do.
Yeah.
And granted, now considering the mobility on some other games that I've seen, in the present day, it's a little limited. But man, going back and watching those clips, I'm going, this is what made it fun for me.
Yeah.
I love the idea of wall running. I love the idea of being able to sprint and slide, under a door or whatever.
Yeah.
And the grappling hook was fucking amazing. From grabbing onto buildings to grabbing onto the friggin' Titans. And being able to climb up and friggin' open the hatch and throw a grenade in it, and, just everything about the way that game played.
Yeah.
I loved. So, man, I don't know. It sucks that they just kind of let it go by the wayside. And I understand, like you said, you sandwiched it between two stupid high-profile releases.
Yeah.
But, you could have released it sooner, or you could have released it later. Or even if you were dead set on leaving it at that, you could have supported the game in some way, shape, or form. And I don't remember there being any kind of support. I don't remember there being any kind of DLC. I don't remember there being any kind of updates of any kind. I think game stayed vanilla.
There's probably a A horde mode. I think there's like a horde mode that they added at some point.
Okay.
They've added fucking different types of mechs, or not different types, but different versions of the same mechs. Stuff like that. Stuff that you purchase, right?
Of course.
Fucking microtransactions and shit.
That's EA's, bread and butter.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. And like, in a sense, Respawn had to do what they had to do. They saw the money that fucking Fortnite was bringing in for Epic, and then they're like,
that's what happened. We gotta
get some money in here. And I understand, and it blew up. Like, they announced it came out the same day. And I think because of them doing that is what gave it the boost to be successful as it currently is, right?
Right.
And, at the time, and I think they were saying this too, or at least it was kind of, maybe this is just me in my own mind thinking that this was somehow implied, but I took that as, okay, well, this is obviously going to make them money, and they're tying it to the Titanfall universe. They're going to somehow, this can fund development for a new Titanfall game. Hey, they'll bring something, they'll put it out. I don't know that they ever will.
We're sitting currently at this particular moment in time, May 13th, 2022, with no indication that they're even considering it.
No, fans of the series created a Titanfall 3 subreddit so they can act like the game is out. That's
both like kind of neat, but also incredibly sad at the same time.
But yeah, like I said, like, I don't know, like, yeah, the especially the subreddit they've gone off the wall. But in a sense, after thinking about it today, man, it's just like it sucks so much. It sucks so much. It's such a damn good game. And to see, like, you may not even be able to play it because some assholes are just fucking with you the entire time.
Right.
Possibly.
Yeah, so that leaves you with just, single player campaign, which obviously, from your experience is worth exploring. But once you do that, what's left?
Right. It doesn't have the same appeal because I'm not like I tested out some of the other Titans, whatever. The only one that I liked was fucking Ronin, the one with the sword. And, that's not like you. The single player game isn't built in the same way that, like, if I could fucking play Titanfall multiplayer with bots, I would even fucking do that.
Yes, that I would do, and that's mostly because I'm shit, and at least the bots would probably take me out anyway. But that's beside the point.
And honestly, like, the way that I would play that game is I would play whatever the default one was. I don't remember that exact game mode, but it was the game mode where they had the grunts that would come onto the field and you shoot the grunts or whatever, and then it had players mixed in with that.
Yes.
And that was fun. Like, I would go after the grunts all the time because as you shoot and kill even the grunts, it would build your meter to bring in the Titan.
Right.
So mainly I would play and mainly would focus on the grunts until I could build my Titan, or I would rodeo Titans because that was always what was more fun to me. Fucking, I'll hop on from one Titan to another, and like there was like 2 in a row or something, and I ended up, as I was pulling the battery out of one, I jumped off and ended up jumping on another one and started pulling that one. I was like, oh, okay, this is, just throw a grenade and hop out. Oh, I got my Titan already? All right, let's call it down.
Right.
And it was like, oh man, this is, I don't know. Again, very disappointing. But I don't know. that's just my little rant about that. I need to start a damn
Start that Twitter hashtag.
Yeah, some kind of set up an online petition.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's what works nowadays.
Change.org.
Yeah, this is 2008. That's some shit. Yeah.
Write a letter to your congressman.
Yeah. Yeah, he's trying to abort fetuses. He ain't worried about Titanfall 2.
We're not that kind of podcast. We're gonna leave that alone.
No. Yeah.
Oh man. Well, you know what? Eventually a new skate game came out. You know, there's nothing to say that this won't happen at some point. You know what bugs me?
Well, it hasn't come out yet. What
bothers me about the whole thing is with all of these, big time publishers buying up all of these studios, like at what point does that factor into Respawn not being able to make another Titanfall game? Like how much of that ties into EA? Like, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, maybe, but I would think that Respawn has the ability to make that call if they want to do a Titanfall 3 or not. It's not to say they haven't developed other games since, they've come out with Apex, because they put out, was it Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order?
Oh, that's right, they did.
So, I mean,
I forgot that was them.
Yeah, they had another team working on that.
Yeah, true.
So it's, I don't know. It is what it is. Like, it sucks that they really, like, especially at this point, I feel like they're kind of exploiting the fans of Titanfall with fucking Apex and shit. Or at least, if not actively doing it, it seemed like that's what they were doing at the time to get people to play Apex.
Well, like you said, Apex is the cash cow, and you got to continue to do that, to pour as many resources as you can with Apex, because there's Fortnite.
Yeah,
in the same space.
Again, they've got to be bringing enough money to be able to work to use at least a lot of that to fund another project.
Yeah, I mean, I've never. Played
it's not
Apex.
like they stop.
I don't know what it's like in any way, shape, or form, but
there's that initial investment of developing a game and putting it out like they did with Apex, but at the same time, that game has microtransactions, and they're getting a ton of money every day.
Of course, again, just like Fortnite.
So
that's how they make their profit.
I mean, at some point, I would think that even AEA is like, look, I'm not going to fuck with y'all because y'all seem to be doing something. Y'all are bringing in money, so I'm not going to fuck with y'all.
No, you best damn well believe they're getting their cut.
Hey, do y'all want to make Star Wars games? Because we've been sucking at them for a long time.
Go ahead and give it a shot.
Yeah,
don't stop. But in the meantime, don't stop doing that thing with that other game that is funding this shit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway, that's it. That's all I had to say about Titanfall. It probably will come back up, but man, they really need to make another Titanfall.
Maybe if you keep saying it enough, it'll happen.
Yeah. They'll go start fucking protest on their Tumblrs, on their Tumblr pages. Like Skate 4. Hashtag Skate 4.
Hashtag Skate 4. Yeah. It's going to be a hashtag, standby for Titanfall 3.
And if anybody doesn't understand what we're talking about, there's a video on YouTube with Giant Bomb, and they are reading a bunch of comments on some post by EA about Plants vs. Zombies 2, and a lot of the comments are, where in the hell is Skate 4? I want my Skate 4. Skate 4 is going to bring my dad back. Just a lot of people being dramatic, but here we are. Skate 4 is in process. With a development team that no longer... Well, no, it's not being developed by the originals, which is, I think, EA Black Box, which no longer exists. So, we'll see how that goes.
What? They shuttered Black Box? Shocker.
Yeah. I think they also did, like, Need for Speed Shift, and that
that
really
went nowhere fast.
Yeah, that didn't take off too much, so, yeah, that's that.
Gotta love it.
Oh, yeah. I don't have anything else to discuss. Do you have anything, Wes?
No, man. I think... no, I don't think I've got anything else currently swirling around in my brain.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I don't really have anything else to talk about it, but... yeah. I beat Renala, I think, in Elden Ring.
Oh, yeah. I meant to ask you if you went any further than that.
No. I have not played it since. Have not had the time.
That I can understand. That I can understand.
But, you know, it is what it is. All right, well, that's it for this week's episode of the Gamecast. If you want to drop us a line or have a question for us, email us at laughingmangamecast@gmail.com. Hit us up on Twitter at laughingmannet. Thank you for listening. See you next time.